What's doing? Welcome to another episode. We've got another N80 episode. This is probably going to be a bit of a carry-on from the four-wheel drive one, which may or may not have been a very good episode. My camera skills were lacking a little bit that day, but a little bit distracted with things that were going on. But let's get stuck in. So we went and seen a few of the boys and girls at the four-wheel drive show there last week. Well, this is well in the future now, but in my last week's episode. And we met up with a couple of guys, and they're friends with a couple of guys because he wasn't there, he was out and about doing something. And the boys and girls at Chassis Protech have come on board and given us one of their Chassis Protech cleaning units, and we're going to throw it in the N80 and get this chassis nice and clean. Yes, that's right. So I've already opened and had a look inside, but this is the Chassis Protech package you get. This looks like an awesome bit of kit. Have a look in here. We have full color pictures on how to install. It's all nicely wrapped inside here with a couple of stickers. We always need stickers, so we've got a couple of stickers. Oh, it's stuck a little G-Works one in there from the boys G-Works. And we've got our bracket. This is what you normally don't get when you do the other bits and pieces with like airlines and whatnot with dip breathers. You don't get a good little cutter, so it's all pre-lubed. Look at that. So we've got a cutter, we've got the little chassis bracket to mount the hose on, we've got the hose obviously, which is capped off at either end, which you can see here, but it has holes all the way through the tubing here. I'm just trying to get you some good angles, but there's all holes all the way through here in different angles and different positions to show off, to shoot off water into the chassis rail. There we go, some more holes here. So you can see them all there, just go through. To shoot off water all the way down the chassis rail, not just the end, not just the side, not just the, just the tip where you put it in. You gotta go all the way deep like. So it looks like we've got a bit of a hook here so we can pull some bits and pieces through. This is what you get as a bit of an extra. This is awesome. You obviously get the mounting plate, bolts and screws, but you also get the fitting for it as well. So you can just throw that in your drill, and you can drill this straight into your tow bar or your body or wherever you want to put it, but we'll have a look in a second. So it's got literally everything, zip ties, it's got everything here you need to fit this up. So let's get stuck in.
Dream with me for a second. It's a hot summer day. You've been on the beach with your family and friends, having fun, swimming, fishing, four-wheel driving. All you want to do when you get off that beach is wash that salt and sand away. Have a clean, crisp shower. Ah, so refreshing. Well, your chassis feels the same way. It just wants all that salt and sand cleaned out of every crevice. Having that beautiful water run down the backbone, run off the body, clean out that chassis rail. Ah, what a feeling. Chassis Protech.
Now today's just a Saturday, I'm just at home, so this is sort of proving the point. You don't need a workshop to do this sort of stuff if it can be done just at home. So let's get down on the ground. I'll put the tail up already so we can have a look, see where we're going to mount this plate, and we'll get stuck into it and run these hoses. So you can see here I got a bit lazy, still haven't done my airbag lines yet, so this might tie in well and give me a good time to do them. But we have our instructions, and basically step one is we're going to find a place to mount this plate, and then we'll mount the plate, and then we'll start going through all the different steps. So let's get stuck in with the plate. So this is the bracket. We have the mounting point to go onto our body up here. So under here is actually metal for the bumper. And what we're going to do is we're going to mount this here right next to our trail plug, so it's all on the same side. And what that will mean is that these two airlines here for my airbags will actually be able to come, if I get this the right way, out those two holes here on either side. I'll be able to drill these out and have them come out there, so I can have my airbags in one and the washer in the other. This is going to be absolutely perfect. So let's get this bracket screwed up into here. So I've just mounted one under here, and I've basically butted it up very closely to my tail light, to my tow bar wiring harness. So then these airlines will then come undone and they'll come through to here, one each side, and then we can run these water lines up through and into the chassis either side. You can see the opening there, it'll go through into that chassis rail and down that side, and I'll be able to run the tubing all along here. So I'll drill this other one in here now. This one's just tucked in to get me nice and square, so we'll drill this in and we'll get that done. So that's all solidly mounted on there now, and this is actually pivots as well, so we can get that and we'll seal it nice and loose so when we rock hard, and we'll pivot this to where we need to be to have that water line come up, and we'll come through here and up and over. So we'll now get to this part. And I didn't use anything extraordinary. It was just me Ryobi drill bit at home with just the drill bit they give you, and I drilled it up and in. Super easy. All right, so step two. We'll run the hoses, push in the rear end. If a box occurs, we twist the nylon tube and gently push forwards, and repeat for the other side, and bring both tubes to the bracket location and the zip tie off. So before we go any further and get to these parts, we'll just run these hoses, then we get into the next part. So let's get to running some hoses. All right, so this end is obviously the end that goes up the front of the car, if anything. So we'll try and squeeze it through. Obviously we need to go across here and mount that up there, but we'll go through here, and I'll steal the camera in a second to show you. We're gonna go up and into the chassis rail. So steal that. So we're gonna go, you can see the red tag there, it's gonna go up and into the chassis rail. So we'll go feed this in the chassis rail, and we'll keep pushing it through till it stops. So feed it into the chassis rail, and if there's any obstructions, like there is now, you can twist the hose and push through, and it'll go through whatever it was hitting, or go past whatever it was hitting. So sometimes you gotta hold your tongue the right way and push on through. So we're getting nice and easy. Another obstruction here somewhere, so again, same thing. Roll it around till it flips. Jiggle backwards and forwards. And keep trying until you get past it. There's obviously little deviations in the chassis. We'll get this through. Oh, hitting something properly, so we'll go and have a look up the front and see what we're hitting. So about halfway down on the chassis rail here on the Hiluxes, there seems to be like some sort of a brace in the centre of the guts. So that's caused it to hit that. So I've just had to poke my finger in there and wiggle and jiggle. You also get this little noodling device to get in there and try and help you get in, but I could get the holes in the chassis rail and get it there, so we can keep jiggling this down now. So yeah, twist it around, try and get the head of that hose to go in a different position, and bay watch it. But you gotta keep an eye on the length of your hose to make sure we can get to the end. So we've still got a little bit more room to go, so we'll keep going. And if I can't get this to keep going any further, I'll go up the front and I'll see where it's getting stuck. All right, so just here where this body mount is, there's some sort of bracing inside, and it gets caught in there. So you can stick your finger, we can actually see the hose there. That's the hose there. You can stick your finger in this side. There's another finger hole in this side somewhere, up in here, up there. You can stick your finger in there, and you can jimmy it through and squeeze it all through. And it does come all the way through. I don't know if you're gonna be able to see it. Is that it there? Yeah, you can see the tube there. So that tube's running all the way up through to the front. So now we can come up the back with our little tails we've got, and we can connect it on to the connector there. So obviously every installation is going to be different where you run your cabling or your cabling, your tubing, but we have a wiring harness here for the tow bar. So I'll follow that around. There's some nice little zip tie points here. So I can stick this through, and again, hold your tongue the right way. So make sure it sits nice and located. You probably can't see from the camera there. I don't know if you will be able to. But we could almost, going off this, we only have to really trim 10 mil if we're lucky, but I might not trim any. Get a little bit more in there. I reckon we don't trim any, we just click her in there. So we'll pull this through. These are a quick and easy one. I might show you from the other side so you can see, because this one's in behind the trailer plug, but they're just a little quick connect, so you can actually just push them in and they're fitted. So I'll show you on this other side. So our tubing is here, and I'll zip tie that to this other harness here, so it sits all nice and neat like. That's clicked into our fitting here for the Chassis Protech system. This one I've just already run And it's all tucked up in there, so we'll keep it, again, same thing, keep it all nice and neat. I might pull this back out and bring it around with the tubing this way. And we can zip tie to here, zip tie to here. We need it to be about yay long, so obviously this is going to bottom out into here, so we'll go just a little bit longer. Worst case, we can push it up out of the way, sit it in the hose cutter, click it down. She's cut nice and flat. Literally just push it in, and it's in there. It ain't coming out. The way to get this back out is you push on the black hose, push on your metal clip, and pull it out. Simple as that. So again, click it in, and it's in there firm, it ain't coming out. Right, let's give this a test, eh? So you can do this on the grass, you can do this on the road, you can do this at anywhere that's got a hose reach. So as long as you've got a hose connection, pull your little condom off there, open up your hose connection, click that on, turn your hose on. So we go down the side of the chassis, we're going to see the water come out. So now you can hear that. You can see water dribbling all through the chassis. And you can see it coming out the bottom. It's dribbling out of the chassis rails everywhere. So that's getting complete chassis rail clean, not just one spot, not just at the end. And you don't have to keep going into different holes, sticking your hose in. It's just one job, one connection. Luckily for me, there's not much sand coming out, which means I must have done a half a decent job when I last washed it out. But that's it, she's done. So all we need to do now is just a couple of zip ties up in those back corners where it's coming through, and so that it just secures it up out of the way so it doesn't dang around. Really, I'll probably just leave it, but I'll zip tie them up so they're up out of the way. When you're finished, all you gotta do is turn your tap off, pull the hose off, put your condom back on, and it's done. So you can't get much easier than that. No fittings you can lose. Just click it in and away you go. So if you're interested in this, I'll talk to the boys and girls down there at Chassis Protech before I get these on our website. I'll be able to get them shipped out to you directly. Any instructions you need will come with full colour pictures. It's really easy. This probably took me about 20 minutes, and that's including filming. Super easy. Highly recommend. Get yourself a Chassis Protech. Stay tuned for more content, more hike stuff coming. Hit that like, hit subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.